Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Hi, Cody.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. You know, having a morning cup of coffee. It's definitely noon, but that's fine. Time is a construct. Nothing is real.
Please don't get me started on existential crisis this early.
Anyway, how do you feel about time and the void of space that we live in?
Confused, slightly perplexed, and a little anxious, I would say.
Yeah, that's relatable content.
Yeah. I mean, hi, welcome to my life. It's just in the context of time. I have a lot of questions, and I'm always very nervous. It's great. It's a great life to live. I am so excited to be here. It also feels very quiet, and I don't know why that is. I think I got used to the fact that there were going to be other people in this recording space with me, and I was like, oh, it's just me and my stuffed animals.
Where are the other voices? I don't... Oh, wow.
Well... As you are aware, I work in a school.
Yes.
It's a great life that I live. Right now, I'm working in a very small school with about 500 people in it, which is terrifying to me because I went to a high school with 2,000 people in it. And so it's still very perplexing to me. One of my jobs is working and monitoring like lunch, which is it's a whole other thing. But what I've noticed 2 days ago, after staring at this lunchroom for an hour every day for the past month, Cody, this lunchroom looks exactly like the lunchroom in Twilight.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
And it's the best thing, is what I'm trying to say.
Are you sure that, like, you know, it's not just every Pacific Northwest lunchroom looking exactly the same?
First of all, not all lunchrooms.
Oh, my
Rude.
God. Oh, my God.
And yes, I'm sure, because I've worked in a lot of high schools, and they all don't look the same. I've been staring at this one spot for the past month, being like, this seems vaguely familiar to me. And then I saw someone come through the exterior doors, very Cullen-like, and I was like, I was shook in the space, because everything all made sense at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
And basically, I can never get Twilight out of my head. And that's where I'm at in life right now.
No, that's really great.
Yes, thank you for letting me share.
I love how your personal and your public life, or professional life, are just really merging in one.
Yes, I mean, always. Anytime someone says anything vaguely Twilight related, my head swivels back. And it's just like, I am in this conversation now.
There's no neck, just like...
I'm terrified of owls, so I find that really disrespectful.
Oh my God.
I don't trust them.
Oh my God.
They're birds. I don't trust them.
I've forgotten that you have a weird hatred and skepticism of birds.
I don't like the look. But that literally happened to me all during PodCon, is I would just hear someone start a conversation. I would just turn around and be like, hi, I'm in this conversation now. It's the plight of being an extrovert, I would say.
Oh boy. Wow.
But yes, I'm happy to be back though. I still haven't finished unpacking.
Great. Wow.
Which is a problem.
It's been a whole week. It's fine.
Listen, I don't like endings. I don't like goodbyes.
Oh my God.
It's a problem. Would you like to talk about current events with me, though? Because we have some interesting stuff.
We do.
Where would you like to start first?
We could start with Angela, our beautiful gal.
Our lovely individual of Christian Serratos. So I don't watch The Walking Dead.
Neither do I. Honestly, I saw it in my timeline the other day, and I was shocked that it was still on. I had no idea.
If it weren't for the fact that a lot of my friends like genuinely love the show and care about it a lot, I would have also agreed with that. Sure. I tried it once, but folks, this might surprise you a year into this show. I don't like blood.
Wow. That's new, really important.
And there's a lot of blood in the Walking Dead. A lot of blood. There's my review. But it is cool to know that she's been on this show for like a couple years now, and I had literally no idea.
Great. No, that's very good.
It's making the rounds on all of the news outlets that we get sent to our email.
But also all of these news outlets are behind too, because like all of these are new articles, so it's not like we're just behind on the trend too.
There were about 3 articles that came out this week and sent to our email specifically about this. So, Cosmo, get your shit together, is all I'm trying to say.
That's all I'm trying to say.
That's all I'm trying to say. So, we have to talk about a little bit more of a sad one, though.
Man.
So, thank you to Vogue for this article. So, K-Stu and Bryce Dallas Howard, who played Victoria in Eclipse, were some of the folks that went to Anton Yelchin's art preview thing. And I cry.
Yeah. Just let's a moment of silence where we all just cry for the next 3 minutes of this podcast.
Honestly, I miss him so much, and it kills me sometimes. But it was nice that K-Stu was there and went to support, and she looked great, so good on her.
And the art looks great.
And the art looks amazing. It's all great. It's just sad, but it's also great. Welcome to Into the Twilight. Things that make me frustrated include this last piece of news that we have.
Yeah.
This opinion piece. Yeah. It was posted by the Hamilton Spectator. Why could I not read that word? It was the article, the opinion title, I guess, is How Should We Read Twilight in the Age of #MeToo? Which, first of all, great question.
Right.
Good talking point.
A valid thing to discuss.
Yeah, that's an important thing to discuss. However, this article gets a little off the rails. A little
Real
bit.
quick, yeah.
So, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, other than the fact that the person who wrote this is a parent, and they are quoted in here saying, quote, because once you see Robert Pattinson as Edward, you can't unsee it. No man will ever measure up to that fantasy. You will forever be disappointed in men, same, who are not Edward and do not look like Robert Pattinson, possibly the most beautiful man in the history of humanity. So,
like, it's definitely not the take I thought I was gonna go with this, you know? Because, like, the article, in my mind, could have been like, hey, in the wake of all of these allegations and all of this, like, controversy and all talking about sexual assault and a whole wide spectrum of things, like, here's how we can also, like, kind of what we do, how we can analyze that into, like, men that we idolize in all aspects of how we, like, examine media and culture. And, like, that could be fictional people, and it could also be, like, real life people that we also put on a pedestal.
Right.
And don't see as actual humans with flaws, and also have the ability to be evil and do bad things. But this was like, well, this right here, Edward Cullen, is the definition of perfection, which, if you've been here for any second of time, we will tear that down immediately.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, this is the pinnacle of perfection, no man will reach up to this standard, is already kind of like, meh. And also, that's not a point that really matters in the wake of this conversation, you know?
Right. Well, and I found, and maybe this was just me, when I was reading it, it was vaguely a little Bella blaming, and I don't know. That's not how I view this series at all, and I think that that's one of our points of this podcast, is trying to understand why all of this hate came in for not only the character of Bella Swan, but also K-Stu.
The literal, like, actress who portrayed her,
Yeah, and what that means, and trying to unpack that as a societal reflex. And I felt like some of the points of this were like, men are perfect, and I don't understand why Bella is in this. And I was like, are you one of the 13-year-olds that I still see hating on Bella Swan on Twitter? Because, like, why? But I do think that it's an important question to ask. And obviously everyone is entitled to an opinion about it.
Right, especially in an op-ed, but...
Yeah. But I don't know. It's not usual that we get an opinion piece about Twilight in our email. Yeah. And so it seemed worthy of discussing, if nothing else.
Yeah.
We did get one listener question this week.
Woo.
And I'm very excited about this question. The question is, since Bella had a life montage before she woke up, what would your life montage be?
Ooh.
And that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
Yeah, so just, like, we'll come back next week. We'll give you a week to think about it. Everyone, like, write down whatever you want. Put your own little soundtrack together. You know, get all in there. And then we'll come back.
The thing about it, like, my first instinct is, well, damn, I'm 23. I've gone through a lot in my life, subjectively. But, like, objectively, what would I include in my life's greatest hits?
For sure.
And then I was thinking, like, well, Bella was 18 when she had her montage, and there was still a shit ton of stuff in there. So maybe my montage would be quite big. I don't know. Do you have any interesting thoughts about this?
No.
Great.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I'm the least like retrospective person on the planet. Like, and it's just like I can't. It's really hard. But I do like thinking of like, oh, what song would it be like, or like what, you know, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how would it be like pieced together, and like I don't know how it would flow, and like the movie, I guess, of your life or whatever.
Yeah, my mind didn't even go to music. It was going specifically to events. This is going to get hashtag real for just like a quick second. But 7 years ago, I was in the hospital and had to get my heart restarted. Fun times, you know, the usual.
Yeah, your everyday Tuesday.
And I literally thought I was dying. And so I did see like my life flash before my hi, welcome to Into the New Age. And and so all I could think about was like, would that be in my current montage now, and how meta would that be? And I just got off track, so
and then I just went off the rails a little bit
because you know, time and stuff. And it just, you know, it just fucks me up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So would you like to talk about book 3 with me, Cody?
I fucking guess.
To be fair, we are back with Bella. So
thank fucking God, Jesus. Yeah. I never thought I'd be so happy to be in her goddamn brain, but like, anything is better than what we had to experience.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Jacob.
I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this preface.
We can't get like what? Like, we haven't even finished this. Like.
Oh, well, okay. So to be fair, so we should probably talk about the epigraph too. So.
Steph, like, she really was like, oh, it's a different book, wink. I can put in another, like, preface and another fucking epilogue and all these fucking things. Like, you know what, ma'am? No, stop. Absolutely not. No.
Yes. Especially the start of book 3 is very angsty, and all I can think about is, like, the freshman high school self of my... That was a lot of words. Who read this epigraph where literally one of the phrases is, quote, everyone you love is a hostage, and thinking about what music I was listening to at that time and how angsty I was trying to be for someone who is very much not an angsty person.
Oh, real.
So yes, this preface, which is it was an ongoing nightmare of Bella's. But as we can see kind of quickly in this surprisingly short preface, thank you, Steph, is it's not necessarily fear anymore that Bella's feeling. So, yay, character development, I guess.
Yes.
I just love the fact that Bella is, like, horny for fighting. Like, she's ready to throw hands.
Yeah, she's just so turned on by the fight.
Yeah. So she's thinking about the Volturi, and she is ready and willing to just
like, let me
fuck some
at him.
stuff up. Which is great. Like, I'm proud of you, Bella. Good job. Before we can get to that, though, is chapter 19, titled Burning. And now, folks, I would like you to put on your English classroom hats just once again and think about what the symbolism and foreshadowing of a chapter title named Burning is. Because,
Great. Just everyone just keep that in your minds.
Yes. So I'm very curious about your feelings on this chapter, especially because of the fact that it's kind of included in the last few minutes of the Breaking Down Part 1 movie. And so now you have like a mental image for what she's going through.
Right, yeah.
Which I think colors this in a bit of a different way than just imagining Bella being charred alive and not moving on the outside.
And it was kind of interesting because jumping from the movie to book 3, question mark, 2? Fuck, where am I?
Yeah.
Whatever. Bella's now reading again. I forgot that we, like, hadn't, like, the baby wasn't really out yet, and Bella wasn't a vampire at the end of, like, Jacob's thing. Like, we still had a little bit to go from where the movie left off to, like, kind of rehash, you know, kind of recontextualize the stuff from her perspective, which is cool.
Yes. It was nice to be back in Bella's head.
Yeah.
Especially because this is a very different Bella than the Bella that we read 3-4 books ago.
Yes.
So it's very different. The one thing that I just need to get off my plate, because I've been thinking about it for like a week or so, is the part where Bella says reality was red. And I don't know about you, but I was thinking about Taylor Swift.
Of course.
So,
and of course you introed that being like, I don't know about you. Another
thank you.
Taylor adjacent. Right. I hate you. Anyway.
I know.
Was that it, or did you have something to go off of that?
No, that was it.
Great,
cool. There is still a lot more blood in this chapter than I would prefer.
Sure.
So, no thank you. The important things about this, before we get into, like, Bella dissociating for the last half of this chapter, is we do get her perspective on Renesmee's birth, which is important, especially when... So Edward, of course, as we talked about before, was very concerned about the morphine getting into Bella's system before she changed.
Right. And she was like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Get that turd out of me.
Oh, no. That's so much. But I don't know, it is nice to get this from Bella's perspective rather than Jacob's perspective.
Yeah, thank God. I don't need you to mansplain her birth. Thank you very much.
Listen. That's real. We do get a lot of Bella just being like, well, I'm sort of departing into this black void space, but
chill.
I promised to Jacob that I needed to stay alive. So it's just a lot. Anyway, there is an important part when she finds out that it's Renesmee and not EJ, which, like, fuck. Where she says, quote, not the pale and perfect son of my imagination.
What?
I felt a moment of shock. And it's like, hey.
What?
That's the worst thing.
What? There was a time when she was, like, still, you know, believing it was a boy or whatever, and she was like, my Edward James, and I was like, I need to leave. What?
It's just
like,
so
at least
bad.
just say EJ. Like, EJ's bad, but, like, please don't say his full God-given name. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Or Edward Jacob, sorry. Fuck, where am I?
The one thing that I wanted to touch on this, though, we did get someone who submitted... It wasn't really a question. It was more so just a response to our Tumblr, which thank you for that. And they were talking about the fact that so they are Catholic, Irish Catholic, and they said that when they were confirmed, their quote is, when you're 11, you're confirmed, which means you're part of Jesus Squad, and you get to take a bonus Jonas name just because. And so I wanted to put this in here because the person chose Isabel as their their confirmation name. And so they still get to, like, laugh and think about Twilight even after all this time.
Wow.
So, thank you for that good Christian Catholic piece.
Thank you for this gift.
Yeah, it's a lot. We do get to see parts of Bella being very shocked by the way that Renesmee looks, which seems redundant after watching the movie, but it is important to remember that this is her first time. Especially because the fact that she explains that Renesmee's first look at Bella was one of, like, shock. And I just want to know why Stephanie thought that was necessary. But anyway, Renesmee kills Bella, and then Bella dies. Welcome, if you weren't caught up before.
Yeah.
And then we just get the rest of this, like, the back half of this chapter is just, like, dissociation central. And it's a lot to read. There's a lot of, like, black and red imagery going on. And it was annoying to read for me personally. Until, of course, she gets to the part where she's like, oh, Renesmee, my not son, I want to live for you. And I was like, that was quick, but yeah, sure. And then it's just a lot of, like, heat references.
Right.
And fire references, because it's Stephanie, of course, so this takes way longer than it should to describe her transformation. The one thing that I wanted to discuss with you, though, is eventually Bella gets to the point where she's like, oh, well, I definitely, like, can't scream. It's less about her, like, physically not being able to, more so that she's making a choice not to scream.
I refuse to scream.
Because she doesn't want Edward to be upset about it. And I would like all your thoughts. Cody, please.
I mean, it's just, like, she does this shit all the time, right? Where she's like, well, I'm just gonna make myself a little bit, like, more easily digestible and, like, you know, actually feel my emotions to the extent of which I'm actually feeling them, and repressing all these things, or, like, just making herself more, like, palatable and comfortable for other people rather than herself. And it's just like, ma'am, can we just, please?
You're literally transforming. You are being seared from the inside out and becoming someone new. And you still feel like, oh, well, I'm very much more concerned about my husband in this moment. And if I scream and let him know how much pain I'm in, because he definitely doesn't know, then, because he's never been through it before.
No.
Then I'm going to make him so upset. And it's like, Steph, hey, stop.
Stephanie. It's like, if you, like, I get it. You can, you know, package all of your actual, like, pain or whatever the fuck. Fine. Live your fucking truth, I guess. If there was one time to maybe, like, let loose a little bit and really just, like, go at it, I think when you're, like, turning into, like, a demon vampire and,
Literally.
like, in the most excruciating pain you'll ever be in your entire life, maybe now is the time to do that. But
now's time.
Whatever.
Yes. The only redeeming parts of this chapter for me were when she's able to overhear the conversations of her family members when they're trying to observe her. So, like, Edward comes in and he's very scared and very nervous.
Mood.
Because his wife is not making any movement at all during this transformation, which of course would make him more anxious than just her, like, letting loose and living her truth.
Right.
Also, Letting Loose and Living My Truth, my new memoir.
The Alexandria Taylor story.
That's great. So he's V-scared, right, during all of this. And Bella's like, don't scream during all this, too.
Please.
And then, of course, Daddy Malfoy comes to the rescue. And it's like, Edward, I see you. I'm trying to validate you, but stop worrying. She's fine. Which, thank you. I need that in my life for always. But he's very much taking this on himself of, like, I must have done something wrong. Wait. And he's just, like, crying, like, in the corner. And, of course, Carlisle has to be like, dude, chill. Bella's gonna be fine. Stop berating yourself. Like, literally stop berating yourself. Which is great. So, that was nice. Bella's still dying. Oh, before all this, though, Edward and Carlisle have this, like, brief hinting at Jacob. And I was curious how you felt about that. Because Bella was like, And
like, what? And she's like, listen, there's other things to worry about. We're going to discuss this. Let's just get this show on the road right now.
Yes. Of course, we get more of Alice, which is nice because I missed her. And she comes in and is like, Edward, seriously, you have to stop worrying. She's going to be fine. I can see it now. It'll all be good. And he's still just, like, in a pile, just crying, as usual.
Mood.
Stephanie does this whole description for, like, 2 pages of, like, she's going to be dazzling. And it's like, stop. There's a brief moment of baseball, which is good. Thank you, Stephanie, for that.
Love a good game of baseball. You know, it's not like there's anything else to worry about. It's just like, let's just chill out with just guys being dudes, you know? Just play a good game of baseball.
Bella gets to the point where she's trying to focus on anything to distract herself from the pain that she's decided to count Edward's breaths. And it was a lot to read. So I don't necessarily feel that good about that. They're all getting ready to welcome Bella because apparently during this part, her heart took off and is, quote, beating like helicopter blades. So, you know.
Just another Manic Monday, am I right?
Literally, same. Great. So during all this, she's like, okay, so my heart's about to explode, but then it just stops.
Chill.
And the chapter ends with her opening her eyes, just like Breaking Dawn Part 1 ended.
Yeah.
Great. Finally.
And we're back.
I'm happy to be with that. So this is when the shit gets real and new, which is perfect because chapter 20 is titled New.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, everyone.
Here's the thing. We've talked about Stephanie's writing a lot in the past year and how you give her one new scene that she could possibly describe and she will spend as many pages as necessary to just give you the fullest, richest texture of it possible.
She's like Willa Cather, but worse.
This chapter is no exception. Because now, apparently, Bella has those new eyes, and so she's seeing everything for the first time. She is smelling things for the first time. She's breathing in air and tasting things for the first time. And it's all just a lot.
It's like, hey, let's just talk about everything that you do in a normal human day and how it's like a little bit different.
Yep.
I'm over it. I can get it. I get the novelty. I get it. Like, you're experiencing everything in totally new ways. I get it. However, I don't need every minute of your fucking life. Like, man, this toast sure tastes different when you're a vampire. Like, I get it.
Wow, I can hear stuff from the freeway. I must be amazing. But also, I'm confused. There's this part, though, where, of course, Edward has realized that she's now, like, full vamp. And so he comes over and, like, tries to touch her hand. And because of the fact that he's not cold, Bella's response is to, like, backflip off this off this bed and just, like, McFreaking lose it, which is a move.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, she's literally, like, crouched against the wall defensively. And then she's like, oh, well, of course Edward and I are the same temperature now. Silly me. But this is great. I love this scene, though, because it's also really good in the movie, personally. But just the idea that Emmett and Jasper are having to, like, be this barrier between the rest of the family and Bella because she's so strong. She's just so yoked. And
she's so excited. She's happy to be here.
But they're also just like, hey, Bella, chill. It's all fine.
Cool. You're crushing my bones, Bella.
And during all this, Alice is just, like, super giddy. It's fantastic.
I never want her to, like, go back to, like, being, like, a normal level of strength. I just want her to be, like, this beefcake forever, being like, I'm just too powerful for my own strength, but in this very small, tiny person. Yeah. Being like, yes, let's go. Just, like, fighting Emmett and, like, loving the chase and the fight.
Oh, just you wait, Cody. There's so much. There's so much. There's a lot more that we have to get to before the good stuff, though. Like when Bella looks at Edward's face for the first time. And we're off to the races, folks. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Stephanie even literally wrote, I needed better words. Yeah, Steph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like any word.
Anything other than this.
Yeah.
So Edward is trying to calm Bella down because she's so yoked and just the biggest danger to everybody. During all this, Bella's very confused. She has a lot of questions, understandably so. Like, where is her daughter? And, like, why? Yeah. Why are they keeping my daughter from me? Also, where is Jacob?
Yep.
And finally, the important question, are Seth and Leah still here? Are they okay?
Yeah.
Good questions. Thank you. She also asks about Charlie, in her mind, not out loud. And I miss him, you know?
I miss my boy.
I miss him a lot.
I miss my dad and my son.
My sad. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna workshop it.
Charlie's absolutely a sad. Are you kidding me? Don't you ever take that back.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna commit to it.
My beautiful sad Charlie.
Oh, capital S T M sad Charlie.
Yep.
During all this, Bella finally is, like, chill enough to be able to go over and hug Edward. Mm-hmm. And she's just, I cannot stress this enough, folks. She's yoked to the max. Like,
she's happy to be here.
She has a lot of enthusiasm. She also has a lot of power.
Yeah.
And it's a lot for Edward to handle. But I feel like, you know, like he likes it, you know?
Oh, of course.
Like
absolutely.
He likes it.
Because, like, the whole time of him, like, his whole thing is like, no, I can't fuck you because I'm too strong and, like, you won't be able to handle it. And now he's like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, it's great. There's about 3 pages where they just say I love you to each other over and over again.
It's so bad.
It's the worst thing. And then they kiss for about another 15 pages.
Literally, like, this whole chapter is just, like, their makeout session. And literally to the point of which, like, their, like, inner dialogue is, like, interrupted by Emmett coming in. Because, like, hey, guys, we're taking too long on this. Can we just move? Let's get the show on the road.
The horn dog of all of them, the one who is most, like, live your truth, do the best you can, is like, hey, hi, we're here.
There's still other things that are happening. We're here. What's up? Just like straddling your mans.
Literally. My favorite part about this, though, is like Edward, our blushing bride, being comfortable with expressing like his sexuality. Wow. Because after they kiss, Bella's like, you've been holding out on me. And it's described as he's like laughing and like radiant with relief. And he's all like, well, this is perfect and great. And now I feel comfortable. So look out, folks. Look out, world. It's me, Edward.
Oh, my God.
So great. During all this, Carlisle starts asking questions like, hi, what do you remember? And Bella, still being Bella, has to lie about her experience and be like, it was totes fine. Don't stress.
Great. Cool. Don't worry.
She's worried that her cheeks will give off her lying still. And it's like, Bella, not how that works, babe. But good try.
No.
I still appreciate you thinking that you're human, though. It's great. It's a good time. There's a lot of conversation here where Carlisle's like, well, we're going to talk about this later, because you must be thirsty. And then all of a sudden, Bella remembers that she's thirsty.
Like, oh, shit.
Her self-control, folks, it's just the strongest.
Through the roof, really.
Yes. It's just a lot. There was this post I remember seeing on Tumblr. I'll post it. Like, I'll reblog it again just so that folks can see it. But it had all of the transformations of the rest of the Cullen family and how Bella's transformation is like a little bit of each one of theirs. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool. I didn't think of it, so I'm not going to talk about it here because why the fuck didn't I think of it?
Sure.
But it has, like, it goes through and talks about how, like, Esme and Bella both had broken backs and things like that. Mm-hmm. So Steph kind of like picked through and chose all that stuff. Anyway, Bella is thirsty in life and in love, and it needs to be taken care of.
She's physically and emotionally thirsty.
I mean, am I wrong though? I'm not wrong.
Not at all. No, not at all.
So during all this, Bella's like, well, that sounds great, but also my actual child. Where is my child? I want my child. And Edward is trying to distract her by being like, well, didn't you always want to see me hunt? Don't you want to do it? It's like, Edward, shut up. Stop.
Can we chill for a second, please?
All of you need to just stop it. But yes, during all of this, everybody is perplexed by Bella. Like, they're trying to talk about Renesmee, and they're still talking about Bella. Like, it's just a lot. And Bella has missed her child so much that she's referring to Esme now as her stranger baby.
Oh, no.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that I love about this. So, Carlisle and Jasper, well, everybody, but particularly those two, are very shook by Bella's responses here. That she can have, like, a full-fledged conversation and still be fine, especially because the fact that there's a part where Bella like gets defensive and then she's like, no, like, I need to check myself before I wreck myself.
Wait a minute.
And like, Jasper is shocked during all of this, especially because when she finally looks over at him for the first time, she sees all of his scars and apparently how noticeable they are with vampire eyes. There's about 4 pages of Jasper's scars.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then, because it's Stephanie, Alice is very excited for Bella to see what she looks like as a vampire. And so, of course, she runs off and comes back with the biggest mirror possible so that Bella can see her new self. And during all of this, folks, she refers to herself as, quote, the alien creature. So,
Great.
How's your self-confidence doing?
Yeah, how's your self-esteem doing, Bells? What's up?
You wanted so bad to be a vampire so that this would hopefully go away. But of course, in Bella fashion, it's not. My favorite thing about this, though, is she literally asks, like, who was she? Like, Bella's literally having a who is she moment, folks. And it's a lot to handle. She sees her eyes for the first time. And she's, like, shook because red eyes are a lot to handle, probably. And she's talking about the fact that she's going to be like this for months and she's very scared, all of this stuff. Anyway, Jasper is pissed because when she starts thinking about this, she gets anxious for a second and then calms herself down. She's like, no, I'm fine. Hey, I'm fine.
Don't even worry. I'm great.
And Jasper is surprised and excited, but also, like, annoyed and confused by how she's just reining all of this stuff in. It's a lot to work through, but there's this point, and I want to underscore this a lot, too, because when Bella's looking at herself, she's like, they have this conversation where Edward's like, I'm trying furiously to read your mind, and it's not working. Where? Bella says, oh, well, I guess my brain will never work right. At least I'm pretty. And folks.
Jesus.
Folks, I just, I hate this.
None of this. Absolutely not.
I can't believe
Shut it down.
I'm going to say this, but this is my hell.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's just like, Bella, you are literally, no, you're not just... Stop it. You're not just pretty.
Hey, stop.
Hey, the chapter ends by Bella deciding to go hunt. And she's very excited about this. It's kind of all that she's wanted for the past year and a half.
Right, yeah.
And so that's where chapter 20 leaves off.
Pew, pew, pew.
And it's a lot. Next week is chapter 21, First Hunt. And chapter 22, Promised.
Yes.
And might I say, the most important day, because next week's episode will be coming out on Christmas. Christmas. Yeah. It's great. It's going to be our Christmas episode. Cody, why aren't you so excited? It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
I'm excited. Oh my, it's not Christmas yet, but get excited.
It's always Christmas.
You can't. No. But yeah, it's Christmas. Great. Get excited.
And here's what I'm thinking.
Also, happy Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah right now, so happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah! Yes, happy candle nights. Happy everything. You're all doing great. Living your best lives. The one thing that I would like for their Christmas episode next week is, did you ever ask for Twilight merch for Christmas? Did you ever receive Twilight merch and not want it? Did you have any experiences with Twilight and Christmas? I want them. For always. Please. And
email this to us, intothetwilight.show@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Until then, we have a couple of reviews to discuss. Now, would you...
No, don't make me do this.
All right,
no.
Fine. I'll take the burden, and I'll do it. It's about, this first review is about you anyway, so I can read it, and it'll be great.
I love
this first review was written by, and I can't believe we're about to fucking say this person's name on this show, but here we go. Donald Trump, TM.
Yeah.
And the review, folks, it is redeeming. The review is, the title is It's Banana Bread, but it has the emoji for banana and the emoji for bread.
It's very good.
It's very good. Could you tell me about the second reviewer, please?
The second reviewer is A Flower 2015.
I love that.
Yeah, great. We love a year. We love a flower.
And I also love a 5 stars, so it works out great.
So, hey, we all win here.
Hey, it's all great. Could you do me the honor and tell me about our $25 patron?
I'd love to. Her name is Rachel Swan, and she's the light of my life, and I love her. And thank you for being a patron.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. We also have another Rachel, one of our $10 patrons, Rachel Black. So thank you. You're awesome. Also, very much thank yous to Jessica Stanley and Katie Weber and Jessica Hale and M. Zuley.
Yeah.
Do you want to become a fictional Twilight character and also be discussed by us? It's that easy.
Yeah.
Super easy. Just go to patreon.com.
/ Into the Twilight.
/ Into the Twilight.
Just go to patreon.com. And you know what? You'll get there eventually. Just figure it out. I believe in you. You're smart people.
A couple clicks.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a very important fan fiction for you this week.
Oh, no.
It was written just for us.
I love it.
By Becca Reads Fic. Mm-hmm. The name of this fan fiction is A Demon Baby by Any Other Name, and then in parentheses, would smell a sickly sweet.
Okay.
It's part 2 of the Into the Fan Fiction series, which...
Oh, shit.
Why the fuck didn't I call this Into the Fan Fiction for the past year?
Oh, no. We fucked up.
Fucked up. And the summary of this is a bullet fic style look into Seth's thoughts and life, with a few of my added headcanons about his early life before he was genetically forced to become a furry. There's honestly so much to unpack here because it's not really a story, but I thought I would just read a couple of the bullet points for you. Oh god. Okay. So one of them is, anyways, Seth was really hurt when Edward didn't tell him that he was back in town and that he had to find out secondhand from Charfather Figure. But he forgave Edward when he found out about Bella being pregnant with his demon spawn because the poor guy never even learned how to roll a condom on a banana way back in 1918. Great. So the other one is, so then Seth joins up with Jake's pack, but then his sister starts cramping his style. Like, let him live. This 14-year-old just wants to hang out with his boys, i.e. Eddie McWondersperm and Jacob Ross from Friends Black.
Oh my god.
Because, listen, I love Jacob. My Jacob, not Stephanie's Jacob.
Oh my god.
But Jacob, Stephanie's Jacob, is definitely Ross from Friends.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes. This whole thing is fantastic. And I can't wait until we get to the part where Bella learns about Renesmee and Jacob so that I can finally delve into why I don't think that Jacob is the right person to be with Renesmee. But that'll be a preview for later.
A real hot take, I bet.
It's a very popular take, but yes.
Yeah, great. I mean, yeah. I think, like, morally, yeah. Just in general.
But yes, so thank you, Becca, for that. And please always write us fan fiction.
Please, God.
Yes. Oh, and scene. I forgot. I need to say that.
Yeah, wow. This has all been... We were just reading from there.
Somehow, Becca wrote the script for us, and we've just been reciting it.
This whole episode was just a script. Everything is the Truman Show. Nothing is real. And on that note... As we say in Fork.
Get bit.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can follow the network on Twitter at Earbud Media. You can also follow this show at Into the Twilight almost everywhere, or check out our Tumblr at intothetwilight.show. Our wonderful artwork is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram. Our music is done by Eli Krause, who you can find at krausefilms.com. The intro and outro was done by KB__Smith on Twitter. You can follow Allie at Into Wild Places, and you can follow me at Dyke Discourse. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up, John?
I just wanted to confirm that we were recording Monday.
Yes.
What are we recording for?
Oh, it's our new podcast.
Our podcast, the Strange Little People one,
Strange Little People, yeah.
Yeah, the one on Earbud Media Productions.
Mm-hmm. You can find it on YouTube. You can listen to it.
The one that we update every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, dude.
When we have new guests all the time.
Sometimes.
Most
of the time.
Yeah, and we talk about current events and stuff.
People should listen to it, right?
Yeah.
It's something cool.
I think people would like it. I mean, you don't have to, but I hope you would.
Did you put out the ad yet? The flyers?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. as we speak.
No, you're sitting down. You're
No,
not.
this is happening right now as we speak.
John, why did my hand just go through you?
Oh my god.
John.
We'll talk about it next week.